The court is going to take up the next case on the court's docket. This is cause number C210055 CPS. This is in the interest of Reina Perez and Zal Perez children. The case is set for a show cause hearing on an original petition for protection of a child filed by the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. The hearing today is being conducted pursuant to emergency orders at the Texas Supreme Court via Zoom video conference. Participating in the hearing today on behalf of the department is caseworker Misty Martinez, investigator Jessica Russell, supervisor Jenna Hooks, and regional attorney Jason Jett. The mother of the child is Angelica Pena. The court will take judicial notice of the court's file to the extent it reflects she was personally served the citation notice of the suit and of the hearing on June 23rd, 2021. I don't believe she is participating in the hearing today. I'll confirm that in a second. The father of the children is Brandon Perez, who signed a waiver of service of citation on July 1st, 2021. That's on file with the court. I believe he is participating in the hearing today. Joel Ratliff is the attorney and guardian ad litem for the children. He is not currently participating in the hearing today. Let me confirm who I have in the courtroom just to make sure I have a record of it. Show a gentleman under the designation device name Moto G Power on my screen. I'm not showing that he has audio connection. I'm going to send a chat to him to see if I can get that hooked up. And Ms. Martinez or Ms. Russell, I'm not sure who, do y'all have a number for Mr. Perez? I'm assuming this is Mr. Perez if he's not able to connect. We'll see here in just a second if he's able to connect.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, I can hear you now. Okay, thank you. As I indicated before, this case is set for a show cause hearing on an original petition for protection of a child filed by the Department of Family and Protective Services. Child Protective Services. Mr. Brandon Perez is now participating in the hearing by Zoom. Mr. Jett, could you advise the court and the parties what orders the department is seeking today?
Yes, Your Honor. The department's asking for managing conservatorship to be named to the department on a temporary basis. We're asking for the parents to be named as possessory conservators. We're asking for the department to be able to place the children and asking the parents to work services. And Ms. Russell can has a better answer on the specifics of placement.
Ms. Russell, can you advise the court and the parties where the department would propose the children be placed if the court were to grant the orders requested?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Perez is going to provide some different names. The last person that we had was Angelica's mother, but we had some safety plans broken, and she has some medical issues. So I would get names from Mr. Perez for options of placement.
But in the interim, the children would be placed in foster care placement while you're checking on those?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Russell, do you know why Ms. Angelica Pena is not here? The court file reflects she was served with the pleadings in the case and notice, you know?
No, Your Honor. I talked to her earlier today. She's aware of the court hearing, and she told me she would be on. I talked to her mom a few minutes ago, and she said she was going to be on. I can send her a question or a text.
Okay, if you can try to get a hold of her or see if she's able to join us.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to double check the court waiting room. She's not currently in the court waiting room at this point. All right, while I'm waiting on that, Mr. Perez, as indicated by the department, the orders they are seeking include the following. It would be an order that would appoint for the time being the Department of Child Protective Services as temporary managing conservator of the children, meaning it would have the duty and responsibility to make sure the children are in a safe environment and appropriately cared for while the case is proceeding for whatever length it may go on. The orders would also include orders that would appoint you and Mrs. Pena as temporary possessory conservators with visitation rights that would be arranged through the department. The department is obligated under the law to, if the children are removed from a parent's care, to check with the parents to see if they have any relatives or other persons they would request the court or the department consider as placements for the child while the case is pending by designating somebody as a possible placement. A parent is not indicating they don't want the child back. They're just saying that the child's not in their care. These are individuals the parent would like the department to check on as possible placements. If the court were to grant the orders, they would also include orders that would order the department to provide services to the parents to address whatever the concerns were that prompted them to file this suit, and would order the parents to comply with those services. I would note for the record that I believe Angelica Perez, the mother of the children, is now present as well. Or Angelica Pena, excuse me. Ms. Pena, as I was explaining to Mr. Perez, she has just dropped off. All right, while I'm waiting for her to try to join back up, Mr. Perez, regarding the orders requested today by the department, determine how to proceed with the hearing going forward. I need to know what your position is on those orders. Are you in agreement with those orders, or are you opposed to the court entering those orders?
I'm opposed to it.
Okay. I will advise you that in any litigation, including this suit, you have the right to retain a lawyer to represent you in the case. If you desire time to retain a lawyer to represent you, the court can grant you a continuance, allow you time to try to retain the lawyer. If you are opposed to what the department's requesting in the case and can establish you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, the court can appoint a lawyer to represent you in the case.
So can I get a court appointed?
Well, that'll depend on whether you will qualify for it, and I'll have to take some evidence from you here in just a minute, and I'll come back to you on that in just a second. I believe Ms. Pena is now back in our courtroom. Ms. Pena, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Pena, as I indicated to Mr. Perez, the purpose of today's hearing is to consider the petition filed by the Department of Family and Protective Services, Child Protective Services, that includes a request for the court to enter some temporary orders. Those orders that they're requesting at the hearing today include an order that would appoint the department as temporary managing conservator of the children, meaning the department would have the duty and responsibility to make sure the children are in a safe environment while this case is proceeding, including taking custody of the children and placing them in an alternate placement. If the court were to grant those, the request for temporary orders include an order that would appoint you and Mr. Perez as temporary possessory conservators, meaning you'd have court-ordered visitation rights with the children while the case progressed. My understanding is the department is exploring possible placements identified by Mr. Perez, and if you have some that they could explore, they would be obligated to explore those as well as potential placements. But for the time being, while they check those out, they are requesting in the court, if they're granted the other orders, they're requested that they have the authority to place the child in foster care, pending checking on those alternate placements. If the court were to grant those orders, then the orders would also include orders that would order the department to provide services to you and Mr. Perez to address whatever concerns the department may have with the children being in your care, and try to address those concerns through those services, and it would order each of you to participate in those services. In order to determine how to proceed with today's hearing, I need to determine what each of the parents' positions is as to the orders. Mr. Perez has indicated he is opposed to the orders and he has made a request for a court-appointed lawyer. I will advise you the same as I did Mr. Perez, that in this type of proceeding, you have a right to retain a lawyer to represent you. If you feel the need for legal advice, and the court can grant a continuance to give you time to try to retain a lawyer if you desire to do so. If you cannot afford a lawyer and can establish you do not have sufficient assets or income to hire a lawyer on your own, then the court can appoint a lawyer for you. And if a lawyer is appointed for you or Mr. Pena, we would reset the hearing to allow time to to confer with your lawyer, or if you retain a lawyer, to have your lawyer appear in the case. Regarding the orders that are requested by the department today, Ms. Pena, I need to know what your position is on those orders. Are you in agreement with those orders, or are you opposed to the court entering those orders?
What was that, sir?
Huh? I'm sorry, if you could say that
Oh, what
again.
was that, sir?
My question to you is, are you in agreement with the orders requested by the department, or are you opposed to those orders? Mr. Perez has indicated he is opposed to those orders at this point. I'm sorry.
I said disagreement.
You're opposed? Okay. As I indicated before, you have the right to retain a lawyer to represent you, or you can make a request for a court-appointed lawyer if you don't have sufficient assets or income to hire a lawyer. Are you requesting time to retain a lawyer, or are you requesting a court-appointed lawyer before you proceed with the hearing?
I request for attorney.
Okay. All right. Mr. Perez and Ms. Pena, I need both of you to raise your right hands, please. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll start with you first, Ms. Pena. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Angelica Anthenia.
Okay, and you are the mother of the children, Reina and Zyle Perez, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other kids?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where are you employed at?
Also, it's on Maine,
Okay. And is that a full-time or part-time?
full-time,
Okay. And are you paid there weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
weekly.
Okay. And what is your weekly net take-home pay? What your actual check is?
I haven't gotten my first check yet. I barely started like 3 days ago.
Okay. And do you know what your hourly rate will be there?
What was that, sir?
How much are you going to get paid per hour there? Do you know?
I'm getting paid $11 an hour.
And do you know how many hours per week you'll be working there?
No, I'm not for sure. I just work from 12 to 8. I do a night graveyard shift.
But you're not sure how many days a week you'd be working there?
No, I'm not for sure.
Okay. Now, other than this job, do you have any other source of income?
No, sir. Just this one.
Are you receiving any type of governmental benefits at this point? Food stamps, Medicaid, WIC, anything like that?
No, sir.
Do you have any assets of any significant value that you could use to hire a lawyer?
I'm not for sure.
Well, like I'd be money in the bank, stocks, bonds, land, real estate, anything like that. You don't have anything like that that you could use to try to hire somebody?
Pretty sure.
No.
Okay.
No.
Mr. Perez, this isn't your time to testify. You'll get your chance in a minute. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Perez, I'm going to need to ask you some questions as well. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Brandon Michael Perez.
Okay. And you're the father of the two children that are in this suit. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any other children other than those two children?
No, sir.
All right. Are you currently employed?
Between jobs right now. I have a job, but I was waiting to go to court before I went to my new job.
And where's that new job at?
In Pecos, I just got back from a job yesterday in North Dakota. I had to quit there because my old boss owed me like $3,000 and didn't want to pay me.
Okay, so right, you're testifying right now is you don't have any income.
No, right now I'm still waiting on him to pay me my last check because I was just gone working for like a month and a half and I didn't get paid for it.
Do you have any other sources of income other than that former employment?
No, sir. Like I got another job lined up in Pecos.
And what kind of job will that be?
I'll be doing lay flat.
And is that a full-time job?
It'll be a full-time job, about 120 hours a week.
You said 120 hours a week?
Yes, sir. It's the oil field job.
Or so you on and off? Is that the way it works? Or you work some weeks and
Yes,
then you're
sir.
not?
Well,
Okay.
I just came from this other job because I had problems with getting paid. And I have another job already, but I got to fill out my paperwork for my lost wages so that way I could get paid for my old job because my old boss isn't trying to pay me.
All right. Well, I understand that, but you just testified that you're working 120 hours a week. Normally, most jobs, I know oil field varies a
Or
little bit, but
every 2 weeks. That's what I meant.
okay. I was about to say, I was wondering when you're going to sleep. Okay. Do you have any assets of any significant value that you could use to hire a lawyer, sir?
What happened, sir?
Do you have any assets that you could use to hire a lawyer? Money in the bank, real estate, stocks, bonds, anything like that?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right, if y'all stand by for a minute, I'm gonna make a finding that you both qualify for a court-appointed lawyer, and I'll appoint an attorney for you. And I'm gonna need to reset the hearing. Y'all stand by for a minute. All right, thank you. I'm going to reset this for a hearing on July 16, 2021, 11:30. Ms. Pena, I'm going to appoint Marciela Mendoza, who's a lawyer here in Stangelo, as your attorney ad litem. And I'm going to appoint Todd Simons as the attorney ad litem for you, Mr. Perez, who's also attorney here. I'll need to get with them to confer with them about your position in the case prior to the reset hearing. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.